So welcome, friends. I'm Brian Lapis, co-chair of Friends of Silver Lake.
And I am Reverend Andrew Wicks, also the co-chair of Friends of Silver Lake's Board of Directors. And we want to welcome you all to this, what is the first official gathering of the community of Silver Lake friends and alumni. So welcome and thank you for being here today. So you may have heard some things about Friends of Silver Lake, but chances are you still have some questions about Friends of Silver Lake. And that's really natural because 6 weeks ago, Friends of Silver Lake did not exist. I mean, we were all friends and we all loved Silver Lake, but there was not an official organization disconnected from the conference for the people that love and care about this amazing place of ministry and life transformation. And so today, there does exist a Friends of Silver Lake, and it has not just any board of directors, a really incredible board of directors. And so we want to take a chance to introduce you to some of those folks today. Many of them are in the room with us, but we also have some of their pictures up as well. So maybe we can give you a little introduction to the folks that are here that are helping make this whole thing happen. We were really intentional about this board of directors, trying to make sure that it represented the diverse geography, the diverse history, the diverse sort of spiritual experiences of folks, as well as a diverse set of backgrounds and professional experiences for people for the Friends of Silver Lake Board of Directors. So, Brian, do you want to run through who some of these folks are?
Yeah, and actually, if you're here, if you're a member of the board and you're here, please stand up. There we go. And we're going to go, I guess we'll just go down the columns here. Tim Bertuccini, who is active in United Church of Christ activities in New Haven. You can stay standing, board. Oh. Yeah, sorry. Tim is not here, but he's our treasurer. Reverend David Peters from First Congregational Church of Roxbury, Massachusetts, longtime Silver Lake I'm sorry, did I say Massachusetts? Jeez. Connecticut. Longtime Silver Laker, dean, staff person, outdoor ministry committee person, fantastic guy. Reverend Dr. Davida Crabtree, former conference minister of the Connecticut Conference. Davida is ill today. She couldn't be here, so we wish Davida well. It kind of is. Cindy Kayer is here. Cindy, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? 30 seconds.
I went to Silver Lake as a young person and then got reintroduced to Silver Lake when my children grew up there, Will and Chris Kayer. And with my husband David, we deaned some conferences and 2 terms on the board and just love Silver Lake.
Thanks, Cindy. Chelsea Kordiak is in the back. Yeah, 30 seconds.
Okay. I'm Chelsea Kordiak. I grew up going to Silver Lake as a conferee and then was on the staff and volunteered in lots of different capacities, including as a board member. And I found my calling not to ministry at Silver Lake, but to public service. And I also was a YMCA camp director for a long time. And this is Rowan, and he would love to go to Silver Lake.
Wendy Cook Broderick, PhD.
Yes, I'm about to celebrate my 41st year of counseling and deaning at Silver Lake this summer. I did some doctoral research at camp to understand the transformational ministry so that we can articulate exactly what it is about Silver Lake that is necessary in the world. I have a legal background. And your son. And your, that is Hayden. Oh, and my husband is Dan Broderick, our tech guy, and Sean Broderick. Been to camp every year of his life. Could be in Fraser for real this summer.
Val Tutson.
Okay, Val Tutson. I live in Providence, Rhode Island, where I am a member of the Beneficent Congregational Church. But I grew up in New Milford, Connecticut, along with Betty and Wendy, longtime campers, conferee we were back then. And I worked on staff for 2 summers and have been volunteering there ever since. Apparently, year 41 coming up, which is really insane. And in my other life, I work as a storyteller, and I would say that my work at Silver Lake, because I do lots of different kinds of storytelling. I do biblical storytelling. Really, my voice was nurtured at Silver Lake, without a doubt. And I also run a nonprofit in Providence called Rhode Island Black Storytellers.
Say it again, Rhode Island.
Rhode Island Black Storytellers, otherwise known as RIBS.
Thanks, Val. Sue Butler Woodward.
I grew up in Torrington, so I used to be out in Silver Lake quite frequently just to visit, but I officially started there in the 60s as a counselor. And in 30 seconds, I can't possibly tell you all the things I have done since then. And it's a place very dear to my heart, and a second home, as many of you know, and also share that.
Thanks, Sue. Emery Lewis.
Hi everybody, I'm Emery Lewis. I am on the Outreach Committee for Friends of Silver Lake. I grew up going as a camper and Camp Family 2019, Waterfront Coordinator 24. A lot of roles in between, including counseling for Brian here. My professional life, I'm a financial analyst at Aetna, and I'm very excited to see what we can do as an organization.
And our final board member on the board here is Mary Kuchenbrod, who could not be with us today. Mary is a longtime Silver Laker as well.
I forgot to introduce my daughter to one of her very first outings when she came to me was to go to the Dean's Retreat at Silver Lake. And one day, and she's been going to visit.
Thank you. And a
Good
round
work.
of applause for the Silver Lake Board of Directors. So, what is Friends of Silver Lake trying to do? You see up here a copy of the mission statement that the Board of Directors has formed. I think it's important that we name right off the bat that there has been some dialogue about saving Silver Lake, right? We want to save Silver Lake. Well, I'm trying to avoid that language because it's a little bit nebulous. It can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. The reality is that when the Southern New England Conference announced that they will be concluding their ministry there after the summer of 2026, that's my kid screaming over there, by the way. Hey, Sawyer, how you doing, bud? You want to come up here? We can hang out with Dad, too, if that's helpful. Another future Silver Laker. He won't be homesick at all, I'm sure. But the reality is that after summer of 2026, when the conference stops operating Silver Lake as it historically has, something will happen, right? But it will not look the same, right? Unfortunately, this group of people is not the Southern New England Conference, but it is a group of people that deeply cares about this place, cares about its ministry, cares about its future, cares about the community. Brian and I were on a phone call with the Lakeville Journal recently describing what does Silver Lake mean, and we said, perhaps a little foot and mouthish, we said we don't have the newest waterfront or the newest dining hall. We don't have an equestrian program or an archery program. We don't have big, shiny, new facilities.
Ballet studio.
We do not have a ballet studio, but what we do at Silver Lake is transformational nonetheless. And the reason that people keep coming back, even though there's not an equestrian program or archery or shotguns or whatever, is that when you come to Silver Lake, you get to be part of this intentional Christian community. And it's unlike anything else in the world because we really practice for a week living together and being together in this way that helps us to love each other and live out the values of what Silver Lake is. And then we take those out to the rest of the world and continue to transform the world out there. And that work continues every day, day in and day out. And so the future of Silver Lake and this community of people is to continue that work. Perhaps, oh, buddy. Perhaps at 223 Low Road and perhaps somewhere else. But you'll see in our mission statement the ambiguity of what we want to do, which is to unite the dispersed community that values Silver Lake and working towards a vision of future ministry in line with its historic mission.
So here, and I've been describing this as our group is kind of working with this primordial ooze that needs to galvanize. And these are three options. You like that, Emily? A lot of this is still up in the air for reasons which we will name soon. But these are three possible outcomes of a plan. One, that we buy 223 Low Road from the conference and we operate it as a camp and retreat center. Two, operation of a viable camp and retreat center at 223 Low Road by Fossil, but maybe in partnership with somebody else. Or maybe we have for lack of a better term, a timeshare, or we have a co-op situation with another group that is actually the owner or the steward of the property. And 3, scenarios for ministry in the Spirit of Silver Lake at alternate locations. And all of these, right now, today, on December 28th, are viable options to continue the life-changing ministry that we have experienced at Silver Lake.
Obviously, there are a lot of unknowns at this point. The good news is that in a short amount of time, hundreds of people, including many of you, have signed up to be a part of Friends of Silver Lake. People have given their time, their talent, and their dollars to help us start to create a vision for what is to come. Friends of Silver Lake has organized 4 working committees, including a business plan committee, a fundraising committee, an operations committee, and an outreach committee. And those groups are working day in and day out to try to narrow down what the possibilities are. Some of those come down to what the conference is open to, and that's a dialogue that Brian and I are opening at the beginning of the new year.
So what's next? How can you help us? Thanks, Emery. Engagement is really important, I think. Person-to-person engagement, talking about the Friends of Silver Lake and what our mission is. That mission statement, I love that mission statement. Andrew kind of scribbled that down when this thing was just getting started, and I think it's a great inspiring piece of what we want to accomplish. So please connect with other Silver Lakers and tell them that we're for real, as you are learning now. Raise this point in your local churches. Go to church, talk about the value that Silver Lake has in your life, because I think a big part of this is going to be galvanizing church support around what's next for outdoor and youth ministry camping in southern New England with our churches. I had a conversation on Christmas Eve with a UCC minister, he said, "What's going on with Silver Lake?" And I gave him a little thumbnail sketch. And he's like, "I'm going to the annual meeting in September, and I'm going to advocate for Silver Lake." So that was not a heavy lift. So I would encourage you to talk about Silver Lake and its value in your local churches. Following and engage on socials. We have our own Facebook page now, Friends of Silver Lake CT, that Chelsea has developed. So we hope that you will engage there, and there'll be information forthcoming on our social media pages.
Yeah. Ways that we want to build up our base. We are encouraging all of you, if you have not yet signed up, to join Friends of Silver Lake. We are also asking that folks make donations, and I know there might be questions about, well, what am I donating to? As you might imagine, starting up an organization just has costs to get off the ground, and we will have one of our board members speak for just a minute about donations after us. But just to get things going, to be able to be in a place where we can have an honest conversation with the conference and show them that we are serious and mean business and have the capacity to really do some of the things we're dreaming of, takes some of your dollars. And in fact, the more dollars you give, the more we can do, believe it or not. And then finally, come to our upcoming events. We'll continue to have opportunities to gather, to talk, to figure out what the future is together. We want to try to be a transparent organization that gets buy-in from the wider community. We realize that we represent the Silver Lake community, but we are not the entirety of the Silver Lake community. You all are, and the people that you're connected with, the friendships that you have made through Silver Lake over the years are the Silver Lake community. So please dialogue with us about that.
I think we'll have time for questions after the fundraising presentation, but I think, Cindy, if you're ready, now is a good time to talk about raising money for the cause.
So who doesn't love to talk about raising money, right? Well, one of the challenges with our raising money right now is, just as Brian and Andrew said, we don't have a defined, clear vision of where this is taking us. But what we all know is that it is important to us, and it is important to us to be involved in doing this. And one of the ways you can do that is by supporting with your dollars. But let me tell you why that's important in the short term. In the short term, we're starting a nonprofit. We've bought stationery, we've bought domains, we've bought officers and directors insurance, all of this coming out of our own pockets while we're raising money. And the important thing here is our board of directors, within 10 minutes, raised $40,000 between us to match funds that come in from anyone else who's making gifts up to $40,000. So there are many ways that, yes. When they said that was a great board of directors, it's really a wonderful group to work with. So what are we doing beyond basic needs of the first phase of this? Well, the next phase of this will be when the operations and the development, the business plan folks, need some support to develop a business plan. That might mean hiring a consultant. That might mean getting some property surveys done. I mean, there will be expenses to developing a business plan. And then the final phase and the most exciting phase of this project will be when we all decide how this ministry continues, this vital, critical ministry continues. Then we're going to have to go back and really dig in and decide how much can we support. So right now, the most important thing is that you get yourself and others to make a gift at any level. We need to show support to the Southern New England Conference that we are a vital force ready to do business as Friends of Silver Lake. And in order to do that, you can use a QR code, you can send a check, you can talk to me, you can talk to James Kenny, he's on our fundraising development team, he's in the back. And I'm going to take an aside here and say a big thank you to Spring Glen Church, who has volunteered to be our fiscal steward until we get our own nonprofit paperwork in hand, so all of your gifts can be tax deductible. And on our side, to Dan Broderick for making all of that, all the technology on our side, on the Friends side, happen to make the gifts come through. So, the most important thing that I witnessed at Silver Lake was watching the transformation in my children. I knew that I had a transformative experience there, but I couldn't articulate that at 19 and 20. But watching my children have that experience, I know that this ministry must continue in whatever form is possible, because we need to have this transformation experience happen for our children, our grandchildren, and other adults who come to the lake. So thank you. If you have any questions on fundraising, I'm happy to answer them. I'm sorry Davita's not here with us today. She's worked so hard on this project, but truly support Silver Lake, support the Friends of Silver Lake. Thank you.
Thank you, Cindy.
So we're going to leave this up here. There's also a donation QR code on the table with the snacks. And now, Dan, you can shut off the camera, or we'll stop recording and we can have conversation.